Hello, and welcome to Shamrock Talk, the internet's #1 mother-son Celtics podcast. I'm your host, Jake Olin, here once again with my mother, Karen Olin.
In Natick.
In Natick. En route to Germany, though, tonight.
Yeah, we're taking the red eye.
Maybe Tice will
Frankfurt,
be
Germany.
on the flight, headed home.
Running around like a crazy person.
Could be you and
Jim.
Tice on the plane.
Oh yeah, hey, maybe he's headed back.
Yeah.
I'm thinking his seat is going to be better than my seat. I hope his seat's better than.
He's not making that much.
More than me.
We're recording this on the afternoon of Monday, June 20th. After a sad end to an otherwise good season for the Boston Celtics. When was Game 6? Thursday.
4 days. Yeah.
Yeah. So it took us 4 days to get on the mics.
I couldn't even watch the news. That I couldn't watch the interviews and the news and the Warriors.
I sat through the whole game and I watched a little of the celebration, watched the players. I wanted to see how the players interacted because I knew obviously they would kind of stay on the court and talk to each other and stuff.
Yeah.
So I did watch, but today was actually the first day I got kind of back into it.
I just saw Steph Curry crying and then shut the TV off. Like, what? This is your fourth win. Why are you crying? What's new here? Did any reason why?
I mean,
it's
his first Finals MVP.
Oh, true. Okay.
That was kind of the big critique on him. He's never performed in the finals, and so I don't know. And this one was set without Kevin Durant.
Yeah. No, he did a good job. He totally deserved it.
Yeah, he was definitely the MVP.
I mean, who else would have gotten it? Really, I don't think anybody.
No. I mean, he should have got it even if the Celtics won.
No, I don't think we had an MVP.
Yeah.
And
so,
it's heartbreaking. I think heartbreaking loss for the Celtics only because, I think the better team won. They just did. They were solid, pretty much scored each game the same amount, very few turnovers. They're just a solid team. I think it's heartbreaking because it was never, we were never crushed, really. It was within reach. And I think that's the hard part, right? What if I had, what if we could, so I think that's almost more heartbreaking than getting slaughtered
smoked.
at times.
Yeah. Agreed.
When you look back, you're like, oh, if you'd done that or you'd done that, if I were a player, I think it's kind of a tough way to, and at home, that's gotta be, it's gotta be a killer right there, especially for the Celtics. But I can tell you now, if we had won that one, we'd be hard pressed to win the 7th one there. I just would not have gone well, I think. As far as the game, any comment on the game itself?
No, you want to talk about the game. I'm on to the offseason. You're
ready for next year.
Yeah, it's not much to say. It was pretty pitiful, to be honest.
Yeah.
After the first few minutes.
It was just turnovers.
Even when it got to single digits, did you ever think we had a chance?
No, they were just two together. I think, And it was so funny because everyone talks about the Celtics defense. And I know we were trying to, cover Steph Curry and the 3 to a certain extent. How many points did he have? He had 34. So I guess we really didn't do that all that well. But there were too many up the middle, like Wiggins or Poole or somebody uncontested or very little contested. Every once in a while, we get it closer, and then up the middle. I agree with you. I think that's my point, is that I don't think at any point I felt we were really going to pull it off.
Not even, As soon as it was 20 in the second half, it was over in my mind.
Yeah.
It was like,
it
is. We are not
climbing back out of that, and then they put everybody back in.
And Tatum, or was it Tatum that had 3 fouls? Smart and Tatum, or Smart and Brown?
I
think it was Smart and Tatum both had 3 fouls early in the second or mid-second quarter.
Yeah, I don't have it on here.
And Ime kept them in, and you knew it was panic mode. And I was like, "This is
Yeah.
so over. It's gonna get."
Yeah,
I
I
honestly
have it
thought
on
it was
here.
gonna get worse. So
Yeah.
glad we at least put up a little bit of a fight.
It was funny. I don't know if you
yeah.
had the same announcer, but did you, when Tatum took that stupid foul in the beginning of the game, did you hear the announcer say that is a dumb foul?
Yeah, it's the second time he's done that.
Yeah, and yeah, just I think out of frustration, I think he had just thrown the ball away or shot poorly or something and grabbed the guy just to slow the ball down or whatever. But anyway, yeah, it was, tough. I think they're talented. I think we'll have a good year next year. But the Warriors, good team. I think they played well.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Hats off to them.
Good bench. They have good bench players. So yeah. But I was kind of tired every time I turned on the television, seeing the Warriors dynasty, Warriors. Like, okay, turning it off now. But congratulations to them. All right, what do you got for off season?
Not much. I mean, I said I want to talk about the off season. As we talked before the show, I did a little deep dive, but there's not too much to talk about. Everybody is coming back. Yeah. We have everybody under contract, like that plays.
Yeah.
There's nobody. So, yeah, obviously you have Tatum until 25, 26. I mean, he's locked down for a while. Yeah. Al Horford has an option next year, but he's in for at least, or no, he's in for this year or next year. Jaylen Brown has 2 more years. Derek White has 3 more years. Marcus Smart has 4 more years. Tice has 3 more years. Robert Williams has 4 more years. Neesmith has 2 team options, so we can opt to take on his contract for 2 more years. Grant Williams has a team option this year, which I didn't realize. I thought he was a free agent, but no, he'll be back. Pritchard will be back on a team option. Luke Cornett is the one player that we don't have under contract. Big loss.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think,
but everyone else down the line, Sam Hauser team option, I think we picked that up. Malik Fitz is in for next year. Juwan Morgan team option. I have no idea if we'll end up picking that up. Probably, I guess maybe no. But I mean, everyone is back, which is, I mean, good news. I guess.
Agreed. Yeah.
So yeah, I would say number one offseason is rest. Because obviously Robert Williams was not 100%. And
I don't think Smart was either.
I have some. Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys were. But here, and another thing I kind of want to emphasize is what maybe was underplayed towards the end there is, I mean, I think some guys were just exhausted.
Yes.
So I have up here the number of minutes played between the regular season and playoffs this year in the NBA. Tatum is number 1, and it's not even close. He played in the end 3,714 minutes, and he has almost 400 more than anybody else.
Yeah, he didn't miss any games though.
What?
He didn't miss any games.
Yeah, I mean
maybe 1 or 2.
Rested a few in the regular season. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I think towards the end,
injury.
I think he was just exhausted. He played almost 400 minutes more than anyone else in the NBA.
Yes. Yeah.
Number 2, Mikal Bridges, Suns, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jalen Brunson. Number 5, Jaylen Brown, 3,140 minutes. Number 7 was Wiggins. Number 8 was Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
10 Curry, 13 Poole, and then Al Horford is next Celtic on the list at what? I think he's 15th. He played the 15 most minutes in the whole NBA. I mean, at 36. Yeah.
So those are piled on top of regular season, right? That's playoff too.
That's playoffs plus regular season, the whole year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously we made it farther than a lot of teams. That's why.
Yes.
Tatum was second, I believe, in the regular season behind Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
But obviously, making it farther obviously extends those numbers. But I think a lot of those guys were just exhausted.
Yeah.
And I think that would be kind of number one. I mean, people, the NBA rumor mill is already churning I'm not sure if you're up to date, but there was a report today that Kyrie and the Nets are not on the same page, and so rumors are swirling about him possibly switching teams.
No.
Yes.
Oh, how does that happen?
Yeah.
How does Kyrie not be on the same page as a team?
Yeah. So that's already a whole ordeal. And so Celtics fans are already photoshopping Kevin Durant in the Celtics jersey. Like, if Kyrie leaves, we should go get Durant. And it's a whole, everything is swirling out of control.
Who's paying him a lot of money?
Kyrie?
Obviously a West Coast team that doesn't really listen or buy into it, right? If you're an East Coast team, who is paying him a lot of money? He is such a head case. He's such a head case.
Well, they will pay. They'll pay him. I think the issue is they don't want a long-term deal, and he wants the long-term full 4-year max.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it to him either. No.
But somebody will. I mean, teams are desperate. If you're,
don't do it, teams out there. Don't pick up Kyrie.
Great. I mean, it would be silly. But yeah. So that's just something to monitor. People are talking about Bradley Beal still, the connection with him and Tatum. He can opt in for one more year with the Wizards or sign the super max.
I was going to say, he can't come to Boston. We cannot take another ISO head case kind of player. We can't. I mean, got to get rid of somebody that we have before we pick up another.
Correct. Well, this is my stance. This is I don't want any of those. Yeah. I think stand pat, and if you're going to make any moves, it should be with your bench guys.
Yes, agreed.
Number one for me, and everyone's saying point guard. Number one for me is a 3-point shooter. We need a knockdown guy, catch and shoot guy. We don't have one. Grant Williams is our best. I mean, and maybe Horford, who's like our best.
And even in the playoffs, he wasn't. No, I agreed.
Like, we need a guy.
Tatum. Shouldn't it be?
No, but no, disagree. It should be a guard, maybe a wing.
Yeah.
But you want Tatum, if you want Tatum with the ball and you want him to make that early pass, there has to be a threat there that takes the double team. And if the double team comes, they can just sit there, boop, immediately knock it down on the catch.
Yes.
Quick.
Which early in the season was Grant, and
but that's not a Duncan Robinson or like a guy that really just like knocks them down. Like that is the teams can't sag off. Like, teams will live with Grant Williams shooting a 3.
I think we can have that or get that, but we really need a better offense. We need. I mean, I think that's part of the problem is that
I'll send you this article on Boston Sports Journal. I can give you my login too, by John Corrales, but it's a little off-season preview. And that's kind of what's his top point. He talks about, do we need a point guard? But he said more than a point guard, I think Ime and Brad need to sit down and figure out what kind of offense we're going to run.
100%. 100%.
Because
it's painful at times. That second half was painful to watch them in their offense.
But he kind of expressed what I've been thinking, which is a point guard is like might help, but if a point guard dribbles down, passes to Tatum, and then it's the same thing,
it's not.
It doesn't matter. Exactly. It doesn't. You need to get people moving and have
away from the ball movement,
offensive identity. That's not. So that matters more than. I mean, I think we probably do need a backup point guard. Yeah. Maybe Derek White is fine, and
I
do like him, and he's gonna be on our team. I mean,
he would be a fabulous point at our team. I really do. I think he would be a fabulous point. And I think Horford, you take him out of the starting line, and if you have a healthy Rob Williams, I mean, Horford's getting older. He's not going to be able to play that many minutes. That would be my pick. I would slide Smart over, and I would put Derek White as the point. And that may not happen right away, but I just think he gives that ball a little more flow. But he's absolutely right. Yeah, it's away from the ball movement. It's not about the point guard. It's about moving the ball.
Correct.
And moving off the ball.
Not moving the ball. Yes, moving off the ball is more of a thing for me.
Yes.
It's moving. Yes. We don't have one good play where it's like everyone's moving a open shot.
If you watched us during the regular season, were you surprised when they got those steals at the top of the key? How many times did you watch the game and they would just have those lazy pass to each other, slow passes, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, that is going to get stolen. That is going to get stolen.
Is figure out our offensive identity. Yes. And then that was my thinking from there is what do we need offensively? And it's like a knockdown shooter is the guy that can kind of create that motion because they're worried about a guy that they have to stick on that spreads the floor. And
how about Hero? What's his contract? I'd take him.
Well, I mean, he's way too valuable. We'd have to give up a lot. He just won 6th man of the year.
Even Duncan Robinson, I'd take him just as kind of.
So they're trying to offload Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, I
would love to get Duncan Robinson.
Yes, and I think his problem for them was defense. Everybody targeted him. He's not very good on defense. But if we could have him as comes in, gets his minutes, 3-point shooting when we need him,
I would love to have Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, I agree. A couple years ago,
if he can figure out how to shoot again. I mean, he's had some. He wasn't spectacular.
A lot of times, I think it's how the offense flows. He went from being a starter to being on the bench to getting no minutes whatsoever. So I think you can become a head.
Try to just do something. Yeah, I agreed.
And that's kind of the problem I have with our bench too, and Pritchard, and who didn't show up. People can say what you want about him, but I think it's extremely hard to be part of the offense when you only play 5 to 8 minutes a game and you're brought in. Yeah, you're coming in, but you're also, being picked on because you're challenged on defense. You want to do a really good job on defense. I think people like that need a role. What are you coming in to do? And you do it on a regular basis. And then you come in with confidence and do what you need to do. And I think we really don't have that. We have the Jason Tatum time and the, Jaylen Brown time. And if they're not scoring, then we try something else. How many times were we surprised when Horford had the game of his career, or D. White stepped up today? It's always a surprise what our offense is going to be oftentimes. So I agreed. I think 3-point shooting, big part. And you're right. We do need that corner shooting player, or
just a 2 or a wing, 2 or a 3 guy.
Yeah,
that can come off the bench and consistent, which like Neesmith was supposed to be and just isn't. It's like the craziest thing.
Well, same thing with him. I don't know what was going on with that. I think that's part of kind of the buy-in why you don't get minutes anymore. Like, you're in and you seem to be important, but was it his injury? And then he's not.
But not even that. But not even that. It was like he came in as he's like, oh, he's a knockdown shooter. It's like, great, that's what we need. And then he's not. I don't think he plays bad. Yeah. He's just not he can't shoot. Like, he's super athletic and drives well. And it's like, okay, but we have 2 players that do that better than you. So it's like,
what happened? Yeah.
We needed you to be the shooter. And I don't think he's a bad player, but he can't shoot anymore, which is like, okay. Like, like he might have.
I'd like to see it be Pritchard. I'd like to see it be Pritchard. I really would. I'd like to see us.
Maybe it is, but I think
10
you need a guy,
15 minutes a game. 10 minutes. He gets.
But you need a wing. So you need a guy that can come in for Tatum or a Brown and do that.
Yeah.
And give them rest. So you need a guy that isn't going to play the guards, because Pritchard's your 3rd guard. You have White, Smart, Pritchard. Perfect. I like all those 3. Yeah. But then you have your wings are Brown, Tatum, Hauser, Neesmith. There's no 3rd.
Which Hauser, I think he's going to play more too, don't you?
He could. He might. I've seen potential in him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it's definitely about grooming some of these people on the bench to be more,
correct.
But an integral part of.
The Celtics are not what I would call a franchise that's known for developing players like that.
Well, sort of. Well, yeah.
We've had we are though. Remember?
Oh yeah. Well, and again, but I think in the past, yes, we have. You're right.
There's a lot.
We've had a lot of misses.
I'd
also another reason I think people say point guard. I mean, I do think that's an easy. I think point guard is an easy people say that, but they really mean offense. I will agree with you on that. But I do think that the problem I have with Smart being the point guard when he is he is our defensive. He works so hard on defense that I think that should be his role on our team. I really do. And then I think he pulls out a little bit of offense. But I think being the leader of the offense, or the ball movement, is just a little bit. It's a little bit more added to our defensive star. I almost think he needs to be moved off that somewhat. And I do know that Tatum and Jaylen Brown especially, cannot be bringing the ball up. They cannot be starting as point guards and start the ball movement. Jaylen Brown, I'm telling you, what is going on? The number of falls and the bumbles and the running into people.
I would love to see Smart offensively as like a Draymond Green.
Setting
screens, rolling, going to the basket,
he
occasional
has such
three.
a good in the lane sense. And when he goes to the basket, if he moves off the ball or away from that point guard position,
I think it'd be great.
Agreed. I think I'd like to see him somewhere. That's why I say I would try Derek White at the point and kind of see what comes of it. And I know, Marcus, he's gonna just have to take a blow, right? That's something he wanted to be the point guard. He worked on being the point guard, but I just think it's too much responsibility. I think he could be good for us inside, you said.
I just don't think he's a great decision maker there.
No. Well, what decision is there to make, really, if you're up there? Even D. White, when you come in, people would say, he's not so good.
Yeah.
There is no decision.
Tatum. Yeah.
Excuse me. Right now, it is Horford's time. We talked about that. Couldn't you tell when it was Horford's time? Maybe he can make some shots. Let's get the ball. He's not even open. We're still trying to get the ball to him.
Yeah, let's just force it to whoever we decide. Just get
right now, we're deciding it's Tatum, and no matter what, we're getting the ball to Tatum. So as a point guard, there's not a lot of decisions being made.
But again, this comes down again to it's not the point guard. It's the offense.
Yes. So I don't think we've really ever seen what these people can do as a point guard, because they're not really run as point guards.
Correct.
Right? They're
and ideally Ime and Brad, and I really hopefully Brown and Tatum are kind of self-aware enough to see this and realize that that's what the big leap for next year could be.
And they are going to reap the rewards of a true offense, right? I mean, Tatum is so athletic. If he can get some good passes and good movement, as opposed to being double and triple teamed, one, he's not going to be hacked as much, and two, he's going to reap the rewards, right? So, yeah, I hope. So, who's your pick? Who do you think we might get? Anybody?
I don't know. This is so the other two. I mean, first, I guess we can go to the draft. We don't have a first round pick.
Yeah. Duncan Robinson makes a lot right now. Didn't they pay him a lot of money? I thought he had a good big contract. So
he does.
I don't think he's going to be an option anyway.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me see.
I think he got a big contract, because I think they were talking about that early in the season.
Okay, annual average salary of $18 million.
But wasn't it like a 4 or 5 year?
5 year. So it would be, that's tough to take on. So
that's a big one. They were talking about it earlier in the season when he was starting, when he had the starting role before he got taken out.
We might be able to make it work.
Because I always liked him. Remember I said that a couple years ago?
He's just a guy. I believe your exact quote was you would trade Tatum for Duncan Robinson, but we'll believe that was the exact quote.
I still at times might.
Those were frustrating times.
I believe I said that. There are times when I watch and I say, I'd trade him. I'd trade him. But then again, Jaylen Brown, same thing.
I don't know. You should get on this. I don't know if you know this is a thing.
What?
I'm going to share my screen. That's a first. Have we ever shared the screen on the podcast?
No.
Could be a first. Can you see my screen?
I can.
Nice.
Brad Stevens faking a smile for a second there.
So the NBA has a trade machine. I don't know or ESPN has a trade machine. And you can do trades, and it'll tell you if it works, like salary cap wise and stuff. So let's see if we can get a trade.
Put
Duncan Robinson. We need this trade exception. I guess we can't put it in there, can we? For they just want to get rid of him. Let's say Neesmith. This trade exception. That doesn't work.
Yeah, but when you get rid of somebody, he's not just going to leave to make no money. The team's going to have to pay him, right?
We would have to pay him.
That's what I'm saying, is that they got to find a team that's
contract.
Yeah. So they have to find a team that's going to pay him.
Let's see. The Celtics are over the legs. Yeah, but we have this. Okay, so I don't understand how this works at all. So we have this trade exception that was created when we traded Evan Fournier, which I think makes it so we can take an additional $17 million in salary in a trade, and Duncan Robinson almost perfectly fits that. But it could be in future years. I don't know. NBA trades make no sense. If anybody out there knows how any of this works, come on the podcast, please, because it is. So we have this trade exception that was created. I'm gonna stop sharing. We have this trade exception that was created and we have a couple of them. I can go through the list now. That's the biggest one. I mean, 17 million is a fat one. But basically, it makes it so.
Beal, how much is Beal making? He must be up there.
Oh, I mean, he's getting the super max. He's gonna make like 40 million.
Yeah,
we'd have to trade like Derek White and Rob Williams.
I don't want him.
I mean,
he's a good player, but I don't want him.
Yeah, at some point you get so talented that it doesn't matter. We'd just be that good. But yeah, it would be. It's high risk, high reward for sure. But we have. I don't get it. Okay, this is in this Boston Sports Journal article. Quick recap on what a traded player exception is. It's essentially a coupon for 1 year that can only be used to acquire a player or players into a fixed amount of money equal to the outgoing salary of a player. These are created in a few instances, but mainly when a player is traded to a team with a cap space where the salary matching rules don't apply, and when a team acquires a player with a TPE of their own. TPEs cannot be combined. I don't get it. So I think you can take on that extra salary. Okay.
But somebody would have to agree to 1 year.
We need an expert on the pod.
So Duncan probably would not agree to 1 year.
Who knows how to work trade? But then we also have a taxpayer mid-level exception, which I believe is just 6.3 million in free money. So we can spend we have 6.3 million to spend on
pay an unknown shooter
who I want, who has a player option, who I think is going to opt in, but if he doesn't, I would love is PJ Tucker, another Heat guy. I would love PJ Tucker.
Yeah. And he's pretty tough defensively.
He's a tough defensive guy.
Yeah.
Hits the corner.
He was on Tatum a lot.
Yeah. He's a great defender.
He's good. Yeah.
And he was hurt too. He missed a game. So we have a 17 million one for Evan Fournier, 6 for Juancho Hernan Gomez, who's now in a movie on Netflix. He's the star. Yeah, it's like an NBA movie with Adam Sandler.
Huh. Oh, Hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it. Yeah.
He's the star in that.
Huh. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I do have to. I'm not a big sports movie guy.
Yeah.
Sports have enough drama on their own, but I'm like,
yes.
I don't need
not watching.
I just have real life.
Being able to watch ESPN for 4 days.
Yeah. Kyrie Irving's a full-time movie.
Yes. Not seeing eye. They're crazy too, because so what happens so Harden stays and Kyrie goes? If I'm Kevin Durant, no, I'm sorry, Harden is gone. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
But who's the other one? Who's the other trade or
Simmons?
Oh, Simmons. Thank you. I was like, so
The circus. Right. See, why do you need sports movies? You have Ben Simmons.
That's why. Okay, I knew there was another piece.
And Harden. It's great.
So that's why. That's why maybe KD thinks he can build something with Simmons and the rest of the players and doesn't want to have to deal with Kyrie's antics.
No. They're good friends. Kyrie and
they were.
Or were. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows anymore.
They were.
Yeah.
I think that this offseason, that first round was enough to make anybody probably.
But it's not like Durant was great. It's not like Durant was like, it's not like Kyrie
no. But I think
Kyrie was incredible that first game, remember?
Yes. Yeah.
I was so depressed. I was like, Kyrie is going to just smoke us the series. And then Tatum hit the buzzer beater.
Yeah.
Remembering the good times. That was the high of the season for me, was beating the Nets.
Yes. Oh,
made my season.
You and I, we didn't even want to play them.
No.
That would have been the worst. I don't want the Nets. And they swept them. That was a good feeling. Yes.
It feels like forever ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And like part of it, I honestly blame on the new rules and how they will, and Tatum suffered too with all the hacks and the things that they're getting away with now in tougher defense. And I just don't think KD could handle it. I don't think he was cut out or is used to that kind of basketball play. He's a finesse player. And I think Jason Tatum would like to be, but obviously he's going to have to get a little tougher with the defense. But anyway, yeah. Kyrie, the story of Kyrie.
The other element to this on the Celtics side is, again, I've tried reading about it. It's impossible to just understand any of this, but the Celtics they will be over the tax. So basically, when you spend over a certain amount of money in the NBA taxes you. Mm-hmm. So even if you pay a player, like it's like a 40% tax or something. So if you pay a player $10 million over the tax, you have to pay the NBA an additional $4 million just to the NBA as a tax. Mm-hmm. So we'll be over that. So the other question is are the owners willing to spend all that money to use the trade exception, to use the mid-level exception, to go more over in the tax? And then, like, if we used all 17 million of that trade exception, it would cost the owners like $50 million or something for the $17 million player.
Yeah.
So that's the other. I mean, the Warriors are like way in the tax. Like, so teams do this to win. Like, So I mean,
but you know what? I do think there's a difference, though. Think about the Warriors. I mean, they have Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. Draymond Green and Steph Curry are not really competition for each other, right? Different roles, different players. Yeah. Even Klay Thompson. I don't know. I just don't see. I think he's a superstar as well. Together. They do fit well together. But then you bring in Wiggins, and you have Poole, and you have Peyton, and you have I think they all just fit together well. It's not a superstar that we want. We want like those. We want a Wiggins.
Agreed. Wiggins,
who I think is going to become us. No, not we want, but we want someone like the Wiggins. They're not giving him up. Are you kidding me? No. I wouldn't give him up. I thought defensively he was awesome. Yeah. I thought offensively he was awesome. I really
he was a beast.
He killed us. I think he killed us.
Yeah. I agree. We need a deeper bench for sure.
Yes.
And if we could just bring in a couple of guys, a 3-point shooter, maybe a backup center. You might need a backup center. Horford's getting old.
Yeah. I give him one more year where I think he's going to shine one more year.
I think Mo Bamba's a free agent. I would like Mo Bamba in here.
Who was it that I wanted? I'll think of the name in a minute. Remember when I was rooting for Duncan Robinson, there was also Rudy Gobert. He was my other one. I want Rudy.
Oh, well, he might get traded, but
I
he's
like
on a max
Rudy.
deal. He's on a max deal though. He's way out of our budget.
He should be. I like Rudy.
Yeah.
I like Rudy Gobert. Those were the two. I think that year. I think it was a couple years ago. I think before we got Horford.
I want Bogdanovich.
Oh, I like him too.
I love Buck
Agreed. Yes.
Like, where can we just
Who's
find
giving
a guy?
him away though? They're not going to give him away. He's so good.
Joe Ingles is a free agent, but he just tore his ACL.
Yeah, no.
Ricky Rubio also just tore his ACL. He'd actually be a decent fit.
Yes, I like Ricky Rubio. I always have, but this is his second time. Right, second time being hurt. He was hurt before. Yeah. He was out.
Yeah, I
think that's why they traded him.
Yeah,
I think he was out, and then he was So he's been hurt a couple times, I think, within the last year. But I always liked Ricky. Yeah, I liked him. I thought he was good. All right, pipe dreams.
Yep. Well, on to the off season. I guess.
Rob, get in the gym. Get in the gym. Strengthen those legs. Rest. But then get in the gym. Legs. Yeah, rest, but then get in the gym. He needs to get stronger. Overall, legs, arms, and feel confident out there, because I think he's going to be a great asset. But I still see him as a role player. He's slowly becoming
my favorite Celtic. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a real
I think he's still a 20-something minute guy. I don't see him as a 40, something minute player. I just don't. I see him as a 20-something minute guy, and we need to have somebody like a Horford or, to kind of how we have been doing with the injury. But I just don't think he's solid enough on regular defense in order to be that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Who else? Any other advice for the summer? Rest.
Nope.
And then,
Shamrock talk advice. We'll be cooking up some stuff this off season.
Yeah.
Try to up the production value a little.
Yes.
I'd say my vote for next season is we go to a weekly schedule.
Yeah,
so
once a week.
Regardless of game schedule, we just record once a week, because do the half season, but
before
the full season's gonna get to quite a grind if we're trying to do every couple. Yes. So once a week is good.
A week too. Yep. Pick a night and we'll do it, or pick a day if we can, and we'll do it. I'm
voting Sundays for now, but Patriots season, we'll see.
Whatever.
We'll figure. We'll have some internal discussions this off season. NBA draft in 3 days. So I don't know if we'll do a podcast after you get back, but the Celtics, I mean, we have a second round pick.
All right, you'll have to let me know if we get anybody great. I'll be in Germany. I'm not sure where that will be playing. Will it be playing somewhere? Maybe.
Tice. We'll go watch it with Tice.
Yeah. And maybe I'll contact Tice while I'm there. Hey, buddy, let me help you get some more playing minutes here.
I have the
work with him on the off season.
I have the NBA calendar here. So 23rd is draft day. That's this week. 29th is the last day for decisions on players, teams, early termination options. Last day for teams to make qualifying offers to players, restricted free agency.
What day is that?
June 29th, and then June 30th, free agency begins.
Podcasting, if you want to say hello to our viewers. We have a lot of viewers.
So I'd say unless something crazy happens, I'd say it'd probably be so July 1st is then the start of the year free agency. So so probably early July we do kind of a free agency. I'm sure the Celtics will have a couple moves for a podcast then, and then July 7th summer league starts.
And so who do you think is going to be playing in the summer league? Hopefully,
that's a good question.
Yeah,
it'll be a weird summer league team for sure.
Yes, it will.
We'll
seems like our
play. I wouldn't think so.
If I were him, I would. I don't know. I don't know. Work on my 3-point shooting. I would do something.
Maybe he's the kind of leader of the summer league guys. Neesmith, him.
Hauser
will definitely be there.
Yeah.
Cornette's not signed as of now. League Fitz.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if he does. Who plays? So, yeah. Maybe our new draft
training camp opens
will
late
be
September.
very impressive.
So we'll have some sporadical shows throughout the off season.
Yes.
But like the Celtics,
I'll do a little research.
We'll be working. We'll be setting up. We'll have a more. I'd say we'll nail a more standard format. Get weekly. Start getting a little more meticulous about stuff.
Yeah, sounds good. I've got a lot of ideas.
We're not going anywhere.
No.
Hopefully neither of the Celtics.
It's been a great season. We got very lucky. We can't have a championship on our first, season of Shamrock Talk. We're building up to it. It.
It's nothing without the struggle.
Yeah. All right. That's all I have.
All right. That's it. Have fun in Germany.
Thank you.
Go Celtics.
Go Celtics. I'll be doing some research about who I want. Rudy Gobert, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero. Cool. Can I have Tyler Hero?
we like a lot of Heat players.
I like their hustle. I like their passing. I like their ball movement.
Yep.
But we did beat them.
Somehow, some way.
We beat them. All right.